Hello all. We'll be starting in 5 minutes. Hi Rajendra, let us wait for 2 minutes and then we'll start.
Yeah, sure, Rahul, no problem.
Okay, let's begin. Like it's time. Yeah. So, firstly, welcome everyone. This is Rahul. I'm part of the growth team at Dun. Thank you for taking out your time and joining us for today's webinar. Uh, so, let me introduce our guest speaker for today. Kirupakaran Rajendran is the founder of algo trading firm SquareBots with 14 years of experience in Indian stock market. He's a statistics graduate who has worked in IT firms for 10 years and quit the job to become full-time trader. He's an algo trader who has developed multiple trading systems for Indian equity markets and has been featured in Money Control as one of the top traders in India. He is also quite active on Quora, where he has shared more than 1200 plus articles related to trading and investing with more than 15 plus million views. We are very glad that Kirupakaran has he is conducting our second session with Dhan, and he is also a regular contributor to the Dhan community as well. Before we begin, just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the session, please type them into the question box. I'll bring them up during the end of the session. Yeah, Kiru, you can start. Once again, I'm giving you the access. You can share your screen.
Sure. Perfect. So thank you guys, and thank you Rahul for the kind introduction. And it's pleasure having joining in this session, because last time also when I joined the session, I could able to explain whatever the thoughts regarding the rule-based trading and algo trading in general. Because algo trading, most people when they think about, either they'll think, okay, it is a get rich quick kind of a thing, or it's like people say, okay, I've been trading manually, probably if I shift to algo trading or through trading bots, I would be able to make consistent returns. So that is a perception people have. That could be because of mis-selling that has been happening quite a long time in the algo trading industry. So in today's session, so I'll be talking about three things specifically. So we'll clear these doubts whether actually it is really possible to make profits through algo trading or through trading bots consistently. That is one thing. And the second thing is we'll explain about how what is the thought process behind developing a strategy, how a strategy could be developed, and how it could be backtested, and how it is being deployed. And third thing is we'll explain about the square of bots, functionalities, like what are the different bots that are available, different strategies that are available. So I'll explain each and every strategies of that, and I'll explain the functionality, and then I'll explain how a done user could directly start getting into algo trading without any coding or without any technical aspects that is required. So that is the overall agenda of this session. So now, as Rahul mentioned, in case if you have any specific questions, you can put it in the Q&A box, and it would be addressed by the end of the session. So I'll get started. To just give a brief intro, as Rahul has already given an intro, just to give an actual intro, like I've worked with an IT industry for almost 10 years before quitting the job and becoming a full-time trader. But just like any beginner who start trading, so I also did the same mistakes during my early days, where even though I started trading in 2008 or 2007 end, most of my trades, initial trades, was completely random. Like whatever the trades that I took, it would be either based on news that I read in a newspaper, or the trading outcome was also obviously random. It was neither profitable nor loss. Most of the time, it was not much profitable. But after 2014, I completely moved to rule-based trading. So with rule-based trading means you have your own rules. So you will get into a trade only when your trading system tells you, okay, you can go with the trade, or it's this is the right time to get into a trade. So algo trading or rule-based trading is nothing but when you are having a quantifiable rules using which you know when to place a trade, when to exit, what should be the stop loss, what should be the target, everything precisely. So the best time to put a stop loss or put a target is always before you enter into a trade, because the moment you enter into a trade, your thought process could change. Like you will not have the clear cut direction where the market would go. But once you have all these rule based quantifiable parameters in place, then it is probably you have a higher probability of making profits on the long run. Then I quit my job, focused full in trading as well as managing my startups, where we provide automatic trading bots to the users. So that is a normal intro about myself. So with respect to trading, So there are multiple things like, I'll ask you, the users itself a question. Say you have been trading, be it a part-time or be it full-time, whether it is day trading or swing trading, whatever it is. If I guys have to ask you, what is the single most issues that you guys face with respect to trading? So it could be anything. You can just put it in the Q&A box. What is the single most issue that you guys face? It could be like, I do not know where to put stop loss or whatever it is. So you can mention what is the most issues that you guys face with respect to trading, be it day trading or be it swing trading, could be anything, or be it investing. Because when I started, trading, the single most issues that I used to face was, the emotional balance. Like it is really hard to maintain the balance. So is emotional instability, right? Psychology, right? Stress, and where to enter, when where to exit. Okay, all right. So, see, basically, most of the issues that we face with respect to trading is like, you do not clearly know what you have to do. And second thing is having, an emotional interference that will happen basically when your trade is going against you, or when you're having a position which is, which you can't afford to lose, when you're trading with a capital that you can't afford to lose. So there are multiple things out there, but 99% of the issues with respect to trading could be solved once you move to a rule-based trading. See, there is always, three pillars in a trading world. Like I always mention that. See, there are some set of traders who are profitable. There are few set of traders who are not profitable. But if when you check the overall stats, 95% of the traders are really not profitable. Like there is also a stats which is posted by a broker which mentioned that most of the traders go bust within 90 days of an account opening. That is because if even if you observe the last few years of increase in trading account users from 1995 to 2020, for almost for 25 years, the number of demat accounts in India was approximately around 4 crores and 4 or 5 crores. But from 2020 to 2022, in just last 2 years, there were additionally 5 crore new demat accounts has been opened. So there is a lot of new entrants who are coming into the markets with an expectation that during this COVID times, during the work from home times, there were multiple participants who came into the markets. But those people do not have the right perception towards markets, because 90% of them do not have a precise trading strategy. So only when you have a precise rules, you would be able to take those trades and get into a trade, or you clearly know when to get in and when to get out. But 95% of the people lack a trading strategy. And second thing is, even though there are people who have a trading strategy, like we could always get a trading strategy from any place, like over the internet. If you go on Google, multiple forums and everywhere, there are multiple trading strategies out there. But still, in spite of that, still people are not able to stick to the trading system because they do not have the right discipline. See, because you say, okay, this is the trading strategy. I get into a trade when a particular stock goes above 200-day moving average, for an example. I sell it when it goes below 200-day moving average. So this is a clear-cut, quantifiable, rule-based trading. Now you know the strategy. For an example, you're also trading this strategy, and you get into a trade, it moves up, you make profit, and then it goes below moving average, you exit it. This is one nice trending move, so you're happy with it, you're making profits. But the problem is there will always be instance of multiple whipsaws. Like sometimes there could be 5 or 6 continuous back-to-back losing streaks. This is where discipline comes into picture. So obviously you would not be able to stick to the bots, or you would not be able to take the same trades every single time if it is giving you loss back to back. But you would be still able to stick to it in case if you're trading with the right position sizing. So that is the third important parameter. For an example, you have 1 lakh, and if you put all this 1 lakh of all your capital in one single trade, expecting it to okay, I either win big or I lose all. If you have that kind of mentality, then it is really difficult, because within 3 or 4 trades you could blow up your account. So the right position sizing is always risk 1% or 2% of your capital on a trade to trade basis. So that is when you would be having the right discipline to stick to the strategy, and also that helps you on the long run to make profits. So it is all about 3 important parameters. First thing is, you should have the right trading strategy. And second thing is you should have the right discipline to stick to the trading strategy. And that discipline will come only when you trade with the money that you could afford to lose, or when you're trading with a risk per trade is just 1% or 2%. So that even a back-to-back 8 or 9 consecutive losses will not give you will not shake up your confidence. So you would still able to stick to it. So that is what the three important parameters. That is the basic component of algo trading or getting into rule-based trading mechanism. So before I get started with this trading strategy, so how a trading strategy, could make profits, or how a trading strategy is first of all is developed is, for an example, this is a trading strategy which I call it as 1% short straddle intraday strategy. But before I explain the rules, I'll just explain how the strategies actually have developed it. So this is the overall the chart that you see is the normal distribution chart of Bank Nifty, where I have tracked how much Bank Nifty has moved from open to the lowest point in a day. For an example, today market opens at 30,000, and but before end of the day, if it goes down to 29,000, then from open to low, this is where you call it as open to low levels. And this level is what we have plotted here. How much percentage the Bank Nifty could move down once it opened. Similarly, how much percentage Bank Nifty could go up once it is open. So when I plot this, 90% of the time, Bank Nifty has been trading between -1% to +1%, which means that if Bank Nifty opened at 30,000 levels, it can go to +1%, or it can go to -1% most of the time, which means it can fluctuate between these two levels. That is, from 30,000, 1% is 30,300. So it can go to 30,300, or it can go to 29,700. It can oscillate between these two levels most of the time. It is not all the time, but most of the time the stats says that it could oscillate. Obviously, the markets will be in range bound days most of the time, and it will be trending only few percent of the time. So as long as we are able to capture a theta decay between this -1 to +1 levels without using a fixed stop loss, then we would be able to make profits out of it. So I decided to backtest a strategy, which is nothing but you are running a short straddle at the money strategy, where you short both call option and you short both put option at 9:30 a.m. See, with respect to the current market scenario, when there is a high volatility, no matter what kind of stop loss you use, whether you use 20% stop loss, 40% stop loss, or 30% stop loss, definitely when there is a zigzag move, it could hit your call option stop loss as well as put option stop loss. So here we are not using a fixed stop loss on the premium. For an example, at 9:30, consider a call option is trading at 100 rupees, and consider a put option is trading at 100 rupees. You short both the call option and put option exactly at 9:30 a.m. Now, the different scenario where it could make profit is, as long as the market trades between this -1% to +1%, no, your both the options would decay and you make profits. In case if the market keeps moving up, what would happen is your put option will decay, but call option would keep going up. So there should be a point where we have to cut our losses and come out. So that is where we can track this 1% level on the index. So when Bank Nifty spot moves 1% from the 9:30 levels, then we will exit both the call option and put option. So we are not specifically keeping individual stop loss to these options. Instead, we are tracking the index. Based on the index, we are going to exit both our call option and put option. So you check at 9:30, say suppose Bank Nifty is trading at 30,000. Now I'm going to short both the options. Only when the Bank Nifty from 30,000, if it goes to 30,300, I will close both the positions. Or if the Bank Nifty falls down to more than 27,000, 29,700, I'll close the position. Because the moment it goes beyond 1%, there is a higher probability market could keep trending. So in that case, if it's just better to book the loss and come out. So when we tested this across different days, we could see that, okay, most of the days where Bank Nifty has been oscillating between -1 to +1%. More than 50% of the time, it keeps oscillating. So obviously, it should end up in profits on the long run. So when we backtested it, that is has also given around 5 lakhs of overall profits from 2017 to 2022. When we deploy this as a strategy, like as a bot also. So I'll explain how this specific strategy has been back tested. So that now you will also able to see how you can back test a simple trading strategy. I'll just share the screen. Okay. Actually a portal. This is a free portal using which you can backtest any of your trading ideas. So I've explained you the overall the rules, right? So here we'll go and backtest I'll explain how you could backtest any ideas. So here the instrument we select is Bank Nifty. So I'll just maximize it. Yeah, I'm selecting the index, which is Bank Nifty, and my trading is actually an intraday trade where I can enter at 9:30 a.m. and I'm closing at 3:15 p.m. Now I wanted to close both the legs, so I added complete. So now I'm adding the first leg, which is I'm going to short the call option at the money strike. So everything is by default selected. So I just added the leg. Now I'm adding put option. So one leg of call option and one leg of put option. We have selected the weekly expiry and we have selected at the money option. And now we have to select the stop loss. So stop loss, you select the checkbox and stop loss and select underlying percentage, which means since we are trading Bank Nifty, the underlying percentage, when the Bank Nifty moves percent, we will exit. So similarly, here we'll use the same underlying percentage, 1%. Now you just come down and select whatever the dates, like from 2017, we are going to backtest it. So from 2017 to till date. So we'll just click on backtest. So once you do this, it will automatically run all the parameters that you have mentioned with the historical data sets. And it will tell you like, okay, like from 2017 to 2022, if you have deployed this as a strategy, this is how much your overall profit would look like. You scroll down. So this is the complete stats on a month-to-month basis, like from 2017, every month was almost profitable. So 2017, 18, 19, 20, 22. So the overall profit that you've seen is for one lot. And also it would show what is the overall maximum drawdown. So this is the overall profit, which is around 4 lakhs of overall profits that has been achieved over the period of from 2017 to till date. And you'll also see what is the maximum drawdown, and you'd be able to see what is the winning accuracy. Okay, this one has a 60% of winning accuracy, average profit per trade, and what is the maximum profit in a single trade is around 9,700. Maximum loss is around minus 6,000. So all the ratios, important ratios with respect to the overall strategy, you would be able to see. Even if you wanted to see how it works on different days, say suppose if I wanted to deploy it only on expiry day. So this is Thursday. So every expiry day, if you trade, this is your overall returns would look like, which is around 2 lakhs. So from 4 lakhs, it has reduced to 2 lakhs, which means 50% of your overall profit is only coming from expiry days. So probably you could apply this strategy only on expiry days alone. Because when you do it only on expiry day, even the maximum drawdown has gone down. When the average profit per trade on a winning trade is increased, like it is 2,700, whereas in average losses, it will be only 1,700. So the risk to reward ratio is almost 1.5 and expectancy also increased. So if you see the maximum back-to-back winning streaks, which means that now when you trade this strategy, continuously 8 expiries it has made profits. Similarly, continuous back-to-back losing streaks, 5 losing streaks, which is 5 expiries maximum. It has gone. It's the stop loss. So this kind of strategies could be people who are actually trading a different strategy, or people who are already trading with multiple different strategies. If they are specifically looking for a strategy that could give them returns only on expiry days, like only if I wanted to trade on expiry day, then they could apply this strategy. They can still apply this on all other days, but 50% of your overall profits is coming only from expiry days. So it's better to stick to this strategy on expiry days, because it doesn't matter whether we trade every day or only on expiry day? Are we making profits by the end of the year? That is what matters. So if you could see, if you're deploying with 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs of capital, this is what your overall returns would looks like. So on a month-on-month, on a yearly basis, you end up making whatever the profits that has been shown is good. Here, whatever the ideas or whatever the rules that I've explained is a plain simple rule where you get into a short strategy with a 1% stop loss on the index and you exit. But you will also have other options like you can actually add multiple things, like you can add overall trailing stop loss or overall stop loss or overall targets. For an example, if MTM reaches say suppose 2 rupees, I'll exit. Or if MTM reaches a loss of 1,000 rupees, I'll exit. So you can add all these parameters and backtest. So that will give you overall idea of okay, from where because this is a plain vanilla strategy. From here, you could additionally add your own inputs or own parameters and backtest it. So this platform would be specifically very useful for system traders who wanted to try out multiple different variations. Say suppose instead of 1% stop loss, if I wanted to use a stop loss based on direct underlying percentage itself instead of the index, say suppose a normal short strategy with a 25% stop loss. So I just entered 25% stop loss. You could change all these parameters, and then if you backtest it, then that is going to give you a different results. So the stop loss, target profits, or trailing stop loss, all these parameters are by default set up here. So you don't need to code or do anything. You just have to give all the parameters and run it. Then that would automatically give you the overall returns, how the overall returns would look like. So this is how the overall returns. You can actually check each and every parameters and run it by yourself because there is no limitations here. You can backtest with any number of conditions. You can backtest with Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, as well as with weekly options, as well as with monthly options. So all the parameters are here, and so this platform is just for backtesting it to validate whether your idea works or not. So now we'll move how these things can be executed automatically through trading bots. For done users, we'll see how they can do it automatically in their account without any cost. So first thing is we have to go to squareofbots.com. So every day people just go to squareofbots.com, whether from their mobile or from laptop browsers. Once they go here, they would be able to see the options like login. Once they click on login, then they would be able to show, multiple brokers would be there. So if you're a done user, just click on login. So once you clicked on login, then it would ask you to enter your credentials. So you have to authenticate your account, your done account using your credentials. Once that is, it would ask you to enter your PIN. So once these validations are done, so you don't have any separate login access for Square of Bots. Just using your done account, you can log in. Once you log in, this is how the Dialgo dashboard would look like. So this will show the different kind of basket of strategies. So just like how this is kind of a basket of strategies for traders. For an example, I wanted to trade one lay option selling. So if you select this checkbox of option selling, this would show you all the strategies which are basically option selling strategy. So the 1% short strategy one which I currently explained is one such strategy. If the same rules is applied to Nifty, then that is just 1% Nifty short straddle. So we have also the details has been mentioned under each and every bot category. If you just click on details, that would automatically open like what is the details and what is the actual rules behind the strategy. So just click on it, then that would take you to the respective page where we would have already explained, see, this is the strategy, this is the rules. And if you wanted to deploy it, this is how the overall returns looks like. So everything is in detail there. So basically for users to execute the strategy. So whatever the strategy that I right now explained, right? So if you have to execute that, all you have to do is just input your lot size. Say suppose I wanted to trade one lot, enter one lot and click on trade. That's all. It will be in running state. So it will mention 3 lakhs is your recommended capital. So as long as you have 3 lakhs of recommended capital in your account, this strategy will get executed automatically in your account. So that is it. Once you come here and give your input and click on trade, nothing else is required. So whatever the rules that I currently explained, right? So those rules will be automatically running in the background. And when those conditions are met by 9:30, your trades will automatically get executed. and the bot itself would monitor what is the index percentage level, like whether it is moving up 1% or moving down 1%. When the index itself moves 1%, it will exit, it will fire the stop loss orders and exit the positions. Because when you are a manual trader, the difference is you have to manually monitor the index and then you have to place a trade, because the stop loss can be placed only on premium. So there is no feature to place a stop loss on index levels. So with this part, you can automatically, do not need to worry anything about the stop loss and getting in the right entry or exiting at the right time. Everything will be taken care automatically. And once you click on this orders book, it will show you what are the list of orders that has been fired from those respective bots, like what price, which bot fired it. So even if you're using your done account for your manual trading, you would be able to track, okay, these are my manual trades and these are my automated trades. So, and second thing is, you don't need to keep the system open, or you don't need to keep the laptop open or mobile browser open. Once the input is given, all your inputs gets saved in the cloud, and then from there the rest execution happens. And we have now also changed, we have option buying bot as well as option selling bot. So option buying bot basically trades on Bank Nifty weekly options, but it doesn't trigger trades every single day. Basically, difference between option selling and option buying mainly is, see, with option selling, you could trade every single day, but with option buying, if you're trading every single day, there is a higher probability that you could lose money. So this bot will get into a trade only when there is a higher probability of market moving up in one-sided direction, be it on the upside or be it on the downside. So when it moves on the upside, it just buys a call option. If it moves on the downside, it just buys a put option, and it will exit based on where the futures levels are moving. So even for futures, we have a bot like golden ratio futures bot. So this is basically a breakout volatility bot, where market gets into a contraction and expansion mode, which means that market sometimes doesn't move much. It moves in a very narrow range for quite a long time, and suddenly it expands from that range and starts making a breakout move on the upside or downside. So based on that logic, it tracks the movement and enters into a trade. And for stocks, we have RSI bot. So for people who are having a lesser capital, who do not have 3 lakhs capital, if they have 50,000 to 1 lakh capital, then this bot is fine, where they just have to enter the lots, enter the capital, like, okay, I have 10,000 rupees. I just entered 10,000, and that's all. The bot would automatically run. So with 10,000 rupees, it would track what are the list of stocks that it can short. RSI bot is nothing but a short only strategy, where it decides what are the basket of strategy and basket of stocks which are about to mean revert, which means that just like a rubber band, if it's been expanded so much, it has to come back to its level, right? Similarly, RSI bot works on that logic, where if the stock moved up exponentially in short period of time, it could revert back to its mean. So that is the core logic behind it. So it shorts those kind of stocks with a fixed stop loss and fixed targets. So this bot will also place all the orders automatically from in your account, so you don't need to worry about it. And if you select, we have the different risk categories. Say suppose I want to trade only with low risk category, select low risk. So this will show you. See, these are the bots that are actually having a low risk, which means that you will not see a bigger capital downside of 1%. I mean, on a 30% or 40%. The maximum drawdown will always be 10% or 15%. Similarly, if you wanted to select the medium risk, it will show, okay, these are the bots which is having a medium risk, and similarly high risk. So we have segregated all these things into different risk categories. So based on users risk appetite, they can select the category, and then they can input and give the input to the bot. So if it is an FNO bot, all you have to do is you have to just give lot size as input. If it is stocks bot, you just have to give the capital like 10,000 or 20,000. Because with stock, we have only one bot. So you just have to mention the capital there. For rest of the bots, you just have to enter whatever the lot size that you wanted to trade. That will automatically place the trades. So even if you go and see in the performance, click on performance, it will show, okay, these are the different bots, and these are the overall performance, like how the bot has performed over the past since inception. So if you just click on it, it will show all the live metrics. Like if I selected golden ratio bot or the option buying bot, it will show like from 2020, these are the live trades, 2020, 21, 22, like how many trades, how many days it has ended up in profits, how many days it ended up in loss. So all those stats you would see on those respective links. It will give you the advanced details like, okay, how much profit it has made with one lot. Say, suppose now I've deployed a capital of 3 lakhs. So what would be my overall returns looks like if I have traded this strategy for a long time. So this will show you, see, if you have traded this strategy, this is how your overall returns would looks like. Like after the net returns is almost, so the gross returns is 4.5 lakhs. Your net returns is 3.9 lakhs. So net returns means after all the charges. So we have showed like, instead of showing you the gross profit, we would have shown what is the actual net profit as a trader can make after all the charges, because brokerage is not is the only charges that you pay. You pay transaction charges, you pay clearing charges, you pay STT, GST, SEBI fees, stamp duty. So in spite of all the charges, it has ended up in a positive returns. So people who have traded this bot with the 3 lakhs of capital, they would have approximately made 130% returns from 2020 to till date. So one thing that we have to observe is, see, we have seen, okay, the net result, okay, this is good. It has made live profits and it has made almost 130% profits after all charges. Fine. But we always see the end result. Okay, this is 130%. It is great. But in order to make that 130 returns, you have to go through these drawdowns. You see, at one point of time, it went down to minus 80,000. Again, it ended up profits. And again, it went down minus 75,000. And it moved up. And again, it went down minus 60,000. So these things make profits on the long run. If this is how the overall chart looks like, it goes up. But once in a while, you always have these downside movements, like it makes losses. For an example, February month, it made 11,000 loss. March month, it made 25,000 loss. But again, April, May, June, it has ended up in profits. So it was not that a smooth, a linear curve. You will never make a fixed returns every single month from markets. That is highly impossible. So that is the problem. Like people who are salaried people and who want to have a separate source of income, they always consider, okay, stock market is a kind of place where I could create a second source of income. But the returns from the trading strategies are always uncertain. So there will always be period of profitable streaks. There is always be period of losing streaks. But you shouldn't completely rely on your trading income for your day-to-day expenses. So when you do that, then there will be a lot of pressures that will be coming into you, and you would not be able to take the right decisions at that point of time. Say for an example, just if only 3 days or 4 days left for the month end, and if you're currently in loss, you tend to do revenge trading, you tend to over trade much. So those things will have a huge imbalance with your emotional state. So though to address the questions of whether a trading box can make consistent profits, yes, it does make on a yearly basis or on a quarterly basis, on a half-yearly basis, but not on a monthly basis. This is the life stats of the strategy or the bots. As you could see, there are a couple of months where back to back there were very good profits. Like for an example, February 2021, March 2021, April 21, it has almost made 15,000, 30,000, 33,000 profits. But after that, if you see, there was losses, 3,000 loss, 18,000 loss, again 3,000 loss. So overall, the profits are huge, but the losses are also there, but it is not so huge like what you've seen as a profit. So on the long run, these bots, these trading strategies, when you have back tested or when you tested the statistical parameters, and then when you deploy it, these things would really help you. But the only thing is you have to know, as I said in the first slide, you always have to stick to the systems, no matter what kind of thing that, no matter what kind of rules that you follow, or no matter what kind of strategies that you follow. Everything has a drawdown phase. So this is the final image where I want, before I conclude. This is the actual P&L chart of Bilden. So Bilden is a famous hedge fund manager out of US who trades multiple commodities, stocks, equities, currencies in different markets, where he has been trading a trend following strategy from 1970 till date. So almost for 30 to 50, 40 to 50 years, he has been trading a strategy. And if you observe, this blue line is overall for performance, this fund's performance. The red line is the S&P index performance. So $1,000 that someone has invested would have almost become $1 million by now. But the same if it was invested in S&P index, its returns would be just $1 lakh. So there is a huge variation between investing in index versus investing in an own trading strategy. But if you closely observe, so there are multiple periods. These arrow marks that you see is nothing but this fund has gone down minus 28% one point of time, minus 30%, minus 40%. So there were more than 12 instances where his drawdown is greater than minus 25%. So a guy, with having a huge resources, having millions of dollars, he himself has to go through these kind of drawdown phases. But eventually, as you could see, the end result is positive on the long run. But people who could realize this end result are the one who can go through all these rough phases, drawdown phases. Only then they will be able to make their returns on the long run. So that is exactly what with respect to trading bots also. So trading bots also, you could be able to make these kind of consistent returns, provided if you are able to stick to these non-drawdown phases on the long run. And the only solution that you could be able to stick to the drawdown phases is having the right position size. So that is why whatever the profits that I've shown you, right? So if you have just 1.5 lakhs, you could actually take this 1.5 lakhs to 1.8 lakhs is the margin required to take this trade. But we have recommended a capital of 3 lakhs because you have to go through all these drawdown phases. So when you're trading only with the margin that is required, that is a requirement from a broker, and if you trade that, you would not be able to go through these drawdown phases. So that is why you should have an additional buffer capital which can take care of these losses, and also you will not get any margin calls from the broker. You will have the right margin. So when you mix up like having the right ideal position sizing, right ideal capital, and then if you trade, then definitely trading bots would give you the perfect results, because that has its own inbuilt strategies which we have been tested for a long time and it's been deployed also. So that would really help on the long run.
Yeah, Kiru, sorry to interrupt here first. I think while before the screen had got freezed, users were not able to see the equity curve which you were displaying. They were only able to see the P&L statement. Can you please show that once again for everyone?
Yeah, right. Just a second. This is the one. Are you able to see now, Rahul?
Yes, Kiru, we can.
Yeah, so this is the P&L chart that I was referring to. So the build and the guy who's running the hedge fund manager. So he's been running from 1970 to till date for almost 40 to 50 years. He has been learning a live trading strategy without major tweaks. So problem with most of the system traders is even if they see a strategy, it is really working well, they'll stick to it. The moment it makes a 3 or 4 losses, they'll sit and redo the same strategies. Like they'll try to tweak the stop losses, tweak the targets, because they are not handle those back-to-back streaks, losing streaks. But this is the live scenario where a guy who's managing billions of dollars, he himself has to go through multiple drawdowns like minus 35%. Even if you consider a year like 2008 during global financial crisis, he was almost down minus 63%. But eventually, his fund has eventually recovered from it, and still he was able to outperform the index to a greater extent on the long run. So we always see the end result. Okay, if I have invested $1,000, now it would have become $1 million. But in order to make that $1 million, you have to go through these multiple drawdown phases. So that is the exact scenario people has to go through, be it trading strategies or be it trading bots. So they can still make profits like what they have seen in the chart in the before slide. But in order to make that, you have to stick to it. And in order to stick to it, you have to trade with the right capital. So that is the overall agenda or overall gist that people has to keep in mind when they are getting started with algo trading, or when they are getting started with trading bots. So that is what I wanted to convey. So if I have any questions, I could take it up.
Yeah, I think we have already multiple questions actually in the comment box and in the Q&A also.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah.
So do we have a mean reversion system at Square Off? Yes. So what the strategies that when I explained, so those strategies does have a mean reversion systems. Like for an example, RSI strategy is the mean reversion system, and and also this 1% short strategy which I've explained, that is also a mean reversion system. So the mean reversion systems are already there in the Square Off bots, inbuilt bots. So you don't need to create. And second thing is all these strategies. For an example, when you come here, and click on option selling, you would be able to see these, the 1% straddle that you see here, this one and this one, both are mean reversion. In addition to that, these stocks, the RSI bot, these three are mean reversion strategies. Every time bot is making profit in middle and at the end it make losses or make small profits. Not sure which bot to use which time. So there should be a bot which select better bot to run. See, for an example, there will always be some bots which does well on some days, some bots which does well on other days. But when the market is really trending, so strategies like these stock futures like the GRB bot, so these bots tend to do well when the market is really trending. And when the market is trending in the one-sided direction, the mean reversion strategies could end up in loss. So the ideal way or the right way that people who are actually using the bots, what they are doing is they'll take up 2 or 3 different bots and they trade it every single day. So for an example, if you're trading golden ratio futures bot, in addition to that, if you're trading the 1% short sell strategy on expiry day alone, then mixing up these two kind of bots on the long run will give you a smoother equity curve without no higher downside movements. So what you have to do is you can just go to this performance window like performance.squareofbots.com. There, for an example, if I scroll down here and click on this 1% short straddle bot, then it would tell me like on day wise profits. For example, see on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This shows how much the bot has performed. So this clearly shows Thursday being on expiry day, this bot has given an outstanding returns. So what as an user, what we are supposed to do is when the expiry comes, instead of trading other strategies, we'll trade this strategy. So that is how you have to deploy your capital accordingly. So once you do that, then it is much easier to stick to it and make profits consistently. So can we create custom strategies in Square of Bots? No, for now, Square of Bots has its own inbuilt parameters, inbuilt strategies. But for custom bots, we are coming up with a new platform called OptionX for done users, where if you go to optionx.in, where you'll be able to create your own strategies. Like I just go to you can go to optionx.in from your mobile or from your laptop browser, where we have short straddle, strangle, any kind of strategies. For an example, I wanted to trade short strangle. Then here you can customize it, whether I wanted to trade call or put, or current week or next week, or MIS or normal like intraday or overnight positions. How many lots that I wanted to trade, or also you can mention like what is the stop loss, what is the target. So everything you can mention it, and then if you just mention it, and then once you click on trade, then this would automatically show up done account. You just click on done, and you would be able to place the trades. So with Square of Bots, you would not be able to create your own strategies. It comes with inbuilt. With OptionX, you could create it where we should go live with the done account probably in just 2 weeks. And OptionX is completely free. And even for done users, we will by default, if you go to Square of Bots and log in with done, you would be able to see a 2 weeks of free trial. But we'll be able to give all the users who have attended this webinar, we'll be able to give 3 months of free access to done users. So once probably your free trial is done, you can just send an email to support@squareoff.in, where we'll just enable we'll just enable 3 months of bot access to your account. So when does 1% Nifty bot lose money? So probably when the market is having a higher IV. So when there is say suppose sometimes when the market is having a high volatility movement where the premiums doesn't decay much, that is when the 1% short strategy, which is a mean reversion strategy, wouldn't make profits. So that those are the periods where it end up in loss. Any BTST bot? No, we do not currently have BTST bot. So all the bots that we have is completely intraday bots. If we deploy multiple strategy, does it take care of drawdown? Say one is making loss and another cover. Yes, right. So that is the ideal way to trade. For an example, have a mean reversion strategy plus trend following strategy. Then if you mix up both these strategies together and then trade, then that would really help you to make profits on the long run. So with respect to the charges of bots, we charge around 25,000 per year to access all the bots. But we just wanted to give the complete free access to all the users for 3 months. Like you can take complete free trial. Free trial is for 14 days, but we'll give 3 months complete access. You try out the bots, and then see if you're really able to make profits consistently for 2 months. And then if you're really satisfied with it, then go ahead and subscribe to the bot. And second thing is, do not change trading a bot one day to other day. For an example, go with the stats, go with the live data, what we have shown in the performance data, and see what are the bots which are making profits on this. So this 1% short straddle bot, if it is really making profit on Thursdays, go and trade that bot only on expiry days. Likewise, you can check all those data and accordingly decide what kind of bots that you wanted to trade, and see what is the recommended capital for each of these bots. For an example, we mentioned 3 lakhs per lot, now 2 lakhs per lot based on different strategies. So see whether you have those right capital and then you trade it. Which stocks universe is for considered for RSA bot? For RSA bot, we consider all stocks which are part of FNO. Backtest is only from 2017. So the weekly options is introduced only from that day. So since we are trading only weekly options, obviously we'll be considering the data only from 2017. Charges for using OptionX platform. OptionX is completely free, so there is no cost associated with it, and even the brokers doesn't charge you, to use the platforms like that, because we do not use Quant API, or we don't use real-time API. We use a publisher API. So there is no charges for you, any charges from the broker side as well as from our side. So it's completely free, free platform. Straddles and strangles for stocks available. No, it is not available for stocks, because stocks has a very poor liquidity with respect to options. So that is why all the strategies that we have created are only specifically designed to trade on index. What if the broker goes down and 1% short straddle without a sell? If price goes one side aggressively, we can't exit the trade. Then there is a chance of unlimited loss. How about buying OTM options to hedge this? Let's use the overall profitability of the system. Yeah, this is a good question. See, basically, in order to cover this, so these comes under a risk management parameter. So we have created a strategy. Okay, strategy is fine, but what if in case there is a connectivity issue at a broker end or from the exchange? So that is why, even though the 1% short strategy uses stop loss based on index, we put a dummy stop loss into a system so that we give enough room. So when the 1% movement happens in the index, the bot would cancel this dummy stop loss and exit it. In case if there is a connection lost, so this dummy stop loss would act as a risk cover for you, so that it would exit the positions. So all the trades that has been triggered by the bot will always have a specific associated stop loss addition to that. So the moment it enters into a trade, the next seconds the respective stop loss will also be placed. So there is no issues with respect to any kind of strategies. We could use buying an OTM options and hedge it, but when you're hedging the positions, your overall profitability also drastically reduces. So that is why we don't do it. But we'll be coming up with the streaks of next couple of option strategies that focuses only on hedged based positions. So instead of using a stop loss, it will have a respective hedge, but those strategies will altogether will be a different strategies that will also be added into these basket of strategies soon. So if you open DMAT with done, any discounts on bots? Yes, right. So if you open an account under done referral, you get to access the bots with 50% discounts rates. So we'll also email those details to you. So how do we handle option selling strategies in rising VIX environment? So that is what we said. So we have a fixed stop loss, whether it is a rising VIX environment or low VIX environment. The moment stop loss is hit, we are going to come out of the trades. So let's assume a system got stuck with time drawdown where it is not either hitting a new equity hike or a long period of time. In such cases, what action should a trader take? Still, he should execute the system until stop conditions triggers. Yes, right. So that is what we have seen with respect to the earlier slide also, where I've shown you, the build-ons, right? So even with build-on, that is the same case. Like for an example, by 2008, it was almost down 63%. But he eventually recovered. But if you see, it almost took him 3 to 4 years of time to recover from the drawdown. Similarly, with respect to the trading bots, there will always be phases of rough phases where the system might not make profits for quite a long time, but eventually it would recover. For an example, see these bots. So if you could see that there will be some all-time high, and again it will go down, but again there will be some all-time high. be some all-time high. So these kind of fluctuations will always be periods of 2 months of 3 months. It will not be years, but it will be some periods of 2 months or 3 months of complete underperformance where you would not be able to make profits. But as a system trader, we just have to stick to it and just take each and every damn trade every single time, so that you don't miss out a trade. Because with respect to trading, that too, with respect to breakout trading systems, we never know which trade is going to give you large profits, because 80% of your overall profits will come from less than 20% of the trades. So it is very important to take each and every trade. On the long run, that would help you to attain their consistent returns. So I'll just send this email ID support@squareoff.in. So you can just take up a trial and send an email to this email ID, so that we could extend your complete access for 3 months to all the done users. So I have addressed all the questions. So in case if you guys have any questions, please do send an email to support@squareoff.in. Yes, Rahul.
Okay. Yeah. Firstly, thanks a lot, Kiruvakaran, for taking this session. I'm pretty sure that all the attendees got to learn a lot of new things. I'm also happy to share to all the attendees here that they are eligible for Dhan referral awards. You can refer your friends to download and register in the Dhan app and get 20% off on their brokerage for every trade your friend performs. We also made our newest product, Options Trader app, open for all. Download the app. You can now download the app on Play Store and App Store and get started with options trading in few minutes. And just like today's session, we are also be coming with more such insightful webinars in coming days and also on Twitter Spaces. Stay tuned in on Dhan's community.dhan.co or Dhan's Twitter channel, and you'll get to know a lot of things. Kirubakaran is also a very major contributor to the Dhan's community, and we are very glad that he also responds to any queries on related to Square of bots and everything that, and also regularly shares insights about trading and the various strategy he deploys. Once again, thanks a lot, Kirubakaran, for taking out the time today and giving a powerful session to all the users.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.